Okay, so hey everyone, thanks for coming. This is my second stream with the channel. It's first one was in Spanish, mainly for Mexican and Latin American people, but Spanish in general. This one is going to be in English. So the the plan is to, like, as we go further, having both English and Spanish streams, doing different projects in between them. But with the English ones, one of the ideas we had, Óscar and I, was to do a collaboration. So the the theme, it's called Pass the Sculpt, and the idea, I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen. Can you see it on the screen? Looks like you can't, because I'm not seeing it. Or this thing has like severe delay. Let me just reload this. I have it in my iPad. Wait. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it disconnected for a while. Oh, okay. You can see the nice. You can see the red blue character. So my I will pay attention to the chat, not so much the feed, because it has like a lot of delay. But I'll try um, to be checking the chat. So it's all good. Don't worry. So okay, the idea was between Oscar and myself to create a character, creature, whatever thing, and each one of us was going to be working on a part of the character. So this wasn't done on purpose, but it looks like those are now officially our colors. So like Oscar is going to work on the red parts, and I was going to work on the blue parts. So he started last week with the upper head, the cranium, and the general face of the thing, and the upper torso. So I will continue with the lower face, lower head, like the jaw and yeah, but lower like the mouth and stuff like that. Um, Lower torso and the arms. So let's see what can we do with this. Am I Spanish? No, I'm actually Mexican, but I speak Spanish. So um, yeah, the idea was to create content for Spanish speaking people, but as have some English content as well. So I think this is pretty cool because we can help different people, like address different audiences and work on different projects. So it's all good. It's okay. No, don't worry about it. Okay, so I'll start with this one, as I always do, by creating a sphere and then see what we can get. I'll turn off the dynamic brush size because I'm really not a fan of that feature, except for certain brushes. I feel like for the main ones that I use to sculpt, it's easier for me to work without dynamic on. So I always turn it off and then just turn it on for the ones I need it. And I was talking with Oscar earlier today, and for this collaboration, we are not gonna touch the other person's work because we've done some other collaborations in the past, and like, for example, he does some work and then I get to modify it and add to it, and then again and again, back and forth. For this one, I'm just gonna work on the parts that are highlighted in blue, and he's going to continue on theirs, on his, sorry, later on the next stream. So I had an idea for what I wanted to do with this one, and what I will do is turn on Dynamesh for 32 resolution and start just modifying the character. And the head sort of gave me like an insectoid vibe to it, so I liked what he did with the armor. That was pretty cool. That it was not only all organic, so that's some nice ideas to work with. And yeah, let's see what we can make. So I'll duplicate this one. One more time. So I'm sorry, let me just check the chat for a minute. Thanks. Ben Mauro's work. Oh, thank you so much, man. I'm honored that you say that. I don't think that at all. He's amazing, but thank you so much. This for turning off the dynamic brush sizes. It was actually this is not. I believe it's not installed in the basic program. There's a macro or a script. I don't remember which one. On the forums on ZBrushCentral.com. If you just search like turn dynamic brushes off or something, you will find the post. It's not difficult at all. And yeah, just installed it and put it there in the interface, so I can work with it later. So as you know, I will work on multiple parts of the model at the same time, so as to like get the idea out there and then just keep refining it. Saludos desde Canadá. ¿Cómo andas, man? I don't know what ZBrush insects you're referring to. I've seen his work. It's just I don't know if you're talking like about a specific piece or something, or not. Okay, so for this, I'm currently living in Montreal. Just got here less than a month ago for work, and I'm loving it. It's pretty cool. Well, yeah, I've seen his work, his main stuff. It's pretty cool. He's incredible. Still not sure about this one, but we'll take this other one and just go from there. Something like that. Yeah, so the idea is to do both Spanish and English streams. The collaboration one, the Pass the Sculpt one, is going to be always in English. or at least this one. We might do one in Spanish. We don't know yet. But the Spanish one is different. It's another one. The thing is, because I just arrived here in Canada less than a month ago, we scheduled just 2 streams for this month. Well, I just scheduled two streams because of the relocation, and in general you're like super busy when you move and have a lot of stuff to take care of. So next month hopefully there will be more. Just for now it was the first one in Spanish and this one in English. Oh. Okay, so I'll do some adjusting here. Awesome. Glad you can understand it. Yeah, there's like a lot of people can do both English and Spanish, but it's just to be more inclusive and to expand the audience. But if you can drop by in both, that's great, man. This transpose master thing I really like. I usually use it all the time to modify stuff really quickly with multiple subtools. Just a little bit, takes a lot of time when there's like more stuff, but not too much. No, actually I'm not improvising. I mean, I am improvising. I don't have a concept. I'm just like, Óscar gave me his part, which was only this, and I'll have to do the. So you can see here, like I don't know if you can see here. So the lower torso, the arms, and the lower head. ¿Qué onda, men? Saludos. Qué chido que te diste una vuelta. Abrazote fuerte, man. Portuguese? Oh, man. There's actually a Brazilian girl, Ana Carolina. So you should check her workout. She's really good. And yeah. She's done stuff in Portuguese as well. So I think she also does English and Portuguese. So right now there's Spanish, Japanese, Portuguese, French, and yesterday was the first Russian stream with Alina. She's not Brazilian anymore? What, her English is like super perfect? Let's reverse this. This one. So for the reference, we made a human, but this thing is like not human at all. But it's okay. It's like it gives like a general idea of what we might be working towards. So I'm just right now I'm just blocking out the main forms that I'll be correcting later. So as you can see, I am loving the gizmo. It's super easy and super fast compared to the Transpose Master tool, which is pretty good for certain things still. Like I still use it. It's just when I'm at this stage, I prefer much more the gizmo. Thanks Pixologic for the gizmo. Yeah, shoutouts given. Hey Nacho, what's up, man? Glad to see you here. The best moment to stop with Dynamesh is when there's no more things left to alter or to create or to modify in the main shapes. If your main shapes are done, you should just retopologize and move on to the next thing. So yeah, that's when. So I'm trying to work on this insect idea he had. I think it's pretty cool, but also like having a bit more fun with it. Still don't know exactly what this will look like in the end. ¿Qué onda, Alex? Saludos. ¿Cómo andan? Yeah, no problem. Dynamesh, I don't understand it. I know people that don't really like Dynamesh. I don't know why. I think it's one of the best features of any program, period. So what I'll do here is use the pinch. But I don't know if this is too generic. Maybe we'll leave it like a finger. Maybe we'll do something else with this later on. So I'll just move this a little bit to the side. Yeah, Dynamesh is amazing. It's pretty darn amazing. So for this one, okay, let's try and do like the lower jaw. And I always like to start with 32 because it's low enough that I can modify and concentrate on the main shapes without getting too distracted with the details. So let's do like the neck of the guy. This guy can be like an explorer because of the suit, or maybe they've reached the point in their civilization where they're also becoming like cyborgs, half insect, half machine. Could be. I don't know. Hey Alina, what's up? Yeah, I actually not all the time, but like let's say like 90% of the time I use the gizmo because I can just move things so much faster, and it takes a while to get used to it, especially with centering it again and the symmetry stuff and little things that they changed. But once you get used to it, it's so much faster. Like I use the transpose for more specific, precise stuff. before getting any detail done at all. I'm trying to get the main shapes of this thing. There's not much room here, so I have to improvise. Yeah, okay. I'll just fill this part in. Like maybe he has some loose skin or something. Like an insect has skin or something. So the jaw things, like they open up until this point. So yeah, now I'm thinking like maybe we can do some like I don't know, like maybe make him spit some kind of internal mouth or something. Would be cool. And maybe before that, let's add some other pieces here, like a exoskeleton or something. Again, 32, blah blah blah. Maybe inflate this a little bit. I don't know. I don't know how this thing will wrap around. Like this. No, looks weird. I have to come back to it later. So I will shrink these and no, let's shrink the whole thing. Oh. Nope. Saving file project. We'll just do a transpose. This way of working. What? If you want to put all the subtools in the same mesh without losing details, how do you do that? Why would you want to put all the subtools in the same mesh? I just what I normally would do is having everything separate in different subtools, and then when I no longer have to work on the main shapes, like let's say I'm ready for retopoing or something, I would just merge everything, do again a little bit higher resolution Dynamesh pass, Dynamesh remesh, and then just do like a C remesh or manual topology or something, and then that way I will like incorporate everything into the same mesh. But when I start, I always like to work with like different parts. I feel it's much more easier and faster to navigate your way around the program. or the design, I mean, sorry. Yeah, so I'll shorten this a little bit. And then how was my journey through the Valley of the Suck? What is that? I'm sorry if that's like an obscure reference. I'm sorry, I'm not getting it. Okay, so I decided to put this thing here. By the way, if my voice sounds like a little bit like lower than usual, or like more raspy or something, it's because I'm coming out of like a minor cold, so I apologize in advance for that. Okay. So I will duplicate this one again. And let's do one more piece for that area. Oh, okay. Oh man. Okay, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You never leave the Valley of the Suck. Damn, that's it's very weird because I think I don't know how to phrase this. Like, for example, you only see in social network, and by social network I also mean like Instagram and ArtStation and Facebook, you only see what people want you to see. Like, they only show the best moments. So when someone does like an amazing job at a sculpture or a texture or a render or an animation or something, they obviously want to share it and post it, and they're proud of their work. We all are proud of our work when we achieve something. So we watch it, and it's like the only thing we see from people is like the amazing bits, and that tends to like be a little bit discouraging if you don't pay attention to your work, because you have to be mindful that most people aren't sharing or showing when they're stuck, or when they're frustrated, or when they have difficulties with a design, or they just simply don't have any inspiration anymore. So I think in a sense we never leave that place, because I guarantee you, um, like if someone likes some of my artwork and it's nice and the compliments are nice, I really appreciate it. But there's tons of stuff I would change for each. Like I think they're far from perfect, and I always find issue with something in my work, and I think we all do. That's something normal, and so learning to accept that um, is key to be functional and productive, I think, because otherwise you just get stuck and stay there forever. So maybe that's the answer to your question, like learning to let go in a sense. Eventually every piece has to be away from your attention or focus. And sometimes also like when your work sucks, like because there's some there's periods like when you just do some amazing stuff, you know, like you just have it in the moment, and there's also some other periods where it just doesn't work. So my personal advice and some advice that I've seen others also give is like do other stuff. It can be like, for example, if I'm stuck in this particular piece, do other piece. If I'm stuck in a particular character, do other character. If I'm stuck in a particular project or mindset, do other kinds of things. Because I think even even going for a walk or playing a game or going to a bar with friends or something can click something in you that sparks the creativity back. Because our minds don't actually work like I don't know, like with different contexts. Well, maybe they do, but I mean, it's the same mind experiencing the same stuff all the time. So um, it builds from everything. I don't know if you get what I mean. I hope I've answered the question, because that was an unexpected one, but it was interesting. Thanks for the question, man. Let me just check the chat real quick. Well, Murthank, I hope I'm saying your name right. Yeah, it's at this stage there's not really like a definitive way to do things. Um, when you say for production, it's like um, there's a difference between the design phase and the production phase. The production phase usually assumes that the design is finished already. So if the design is already established and finished, and there's no question about it, you just start building it. And then there's like some rules you have to follow, like keep proportions right, keep anatomy right. But if it's a design phase, just do whatever, man. It's just you can polish afterwards. And design is not easy at all. It's not easy at all. Yeah, man. Don't worry about the valley. It's just I think it's part of the process. Just look at it as um, you're in a plateau, but you're still like moving forward, and eventually comes like the next climb, so to speak. So as long as you keep walking forward and not backwards, you'll be fine. And just also just rest sometimes. It's just sometimes take a break, one day, 1 week, if you can, like a couple of months. Depends on every person and every project, but the mind also needs distraction and refreshment, and to keep sane. You know, it's especially in this industry, it can be very taxing for the psyche. Okay, so yeah, exactly. Like if you're in the design phase, I don't know who said it, but kill your darlings. I think it was like, oh man, I might be totally wrong here, but was it Hitchcock? I'm not sure. But the kill your darlings idea, that don't be in love with your work, because you made it, you can make it again, or you can make some other stuff. So it's hard, but it's also possible, I think. Yep, exactly. Like Aux Art V said, you can yeah, merge everything together in the same subtool, remesh, and then project back everything. But the thing is, if you project something that is not welded, like it sometimes gives you problems. So what I usually do is just dynamesh everything together first, and then project and retopologize and stuff like that. ¿Qué onda, Juan? ¿Cómo andas? ¿Cómo andas? Hey, Adrian, I don't know what you prefer. I'm sorry. There's too many people. Yeah, video games can be video games, sports. I like to go to the gym and swim. I used to swim like semi professionally. Like I used to be a competitive swimmer, but left it for a while, and then just recently came back, and it's amazing to go back to the pool and just swim. And or going to the gym, I also really like it. Lifting weights, um, walking, listening to music, like playing board games with friends. That also, like, board games are I find them amazing. It's I don't care if people call it like nerdy. It's super important for the mind to play. I don't know what I'm doing here. So I was with this piece, and I'm trying to think what to do on the back part. Yeah, let's try some, I don't know. Let's go crazy here. Titillas, que show, dude. You said hi. Thanks. Hey, how do you keep proportions right? You have to pay attention, I guess. It comes with practice. It's not like if you're first starting, it's your first sculpture ever, and I tell you like keep proportions right, you're probably not gonna do it. It comes with practice, but I guess it has to do a little bit with design and keeping things balanced. Remembering things like relationship between volume and distance and measurements. So for this thing that it's like an insect creature thing, the rules can be a little bit bent, even broken. But for humans, the humans have laws and have rules, and there's some average measurements, but you can still play with them and do different kinds of humans, if you will. But mostly you have the sense that the measurements are there for a purpose, so just use reference and constantly keep measuring things. Also, one thing that I always told my students, that was super important for me, is that when you're starting, you just like used to sculpt like in the front, and then rotate it and sculpt sideways, and then in the back. But I always tell them to look for the most odd angles to spot any problems and be sure that the sculpture looks good from every angle. That's super important for me. I think it's something very overlooked by a lot of people that are just starting out, and that if you force yourself to work that way in the beginning, it will be like second nature afterwards. Okay, let me try and answer some questions because I've been talking and talking. Yeah, the head thing works for humans. If you're creating something that doesn't exist, it's a little bit more different. Thanks, bro, Mariano. What's up, man? What matcap do I use? It was a custom one that I made. I just I actually uploaded a few days ago in my Gumroad. I just opened a Gumroad for this. So to anyone interested, you can just look for my Gumroad. It should be my name. I don't remember the exact URL or anything, but I uploaded this matcap and my interface and hotkeys. So if anyone's interested, go check it out. It's free. If it's post, well, if you're going to sculpt something post, I suggest that you have to first master the proportions in like basic T-pose, especially if you're starting out. But if you're going to sculpt something in pose, wow, it's much more difficult, I guess. There's some mannequins in ZBrush that you can use. I think if you go to the lightbox, here there's a folder called mannequin, and you can use any of these and just move things around or create your own. That's a really good tool to help you figure out the correct pose without losing the proportions. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. Post is much more difficult. Hey Chad, hey Jose, do you have any tips how to do fur without a fiber mesh? I've tried, but does not look fur for me. For fur, well, I actually like hair and fur and things like that is my least favorite thing to sculpt. But if it needs to be done, I guess my main tip would be to use a combination of like define the let's create one real quick here. Like define the main shape first. Let's say, for example, it's some long hair of a lady's or something. Something like that. So what I would do is to just pick the flow and start sculpting with a Damien Standard brush. And the cool thing about this brush is you could use the normal variation that goes inside the mesh, and then use the alt variation that goes outside. So I'll use a few subdivisions to have better resolution, and then use also the lazy mouse with a lazy radius of I don't know, something like 30. It's and strokes lazy mouse. You can spot it there, and then this stabilizes the stroke. Then you can create beautiful flowy hair or fur like that. Especially if like you block the piece first. But actually, I would like probably if Alina is watching this, she's probably like laughing at my horrible skills to sculpt hair, because the way she sculpts hair is amazing, and also like she does it asymmetrically, which I find incredible. Check out her work. But yeah, that's the way I would do it. And if you notice, it's not like it's any realistic fur or something. So if you want realism, fiber mesh is probably your best option. Oh, okay. So like, what method do I use to check lengths? The thing is, I really don't. It's just like I kind of eyeball it, and there's not like I use a ruler or something for these things. So it might be a little bit more difficult. But like you learn certain rules, like the height of the character is between 7 and 8 heads, usually 7.5, and the bicep, when the arm is next to the body, reaches certain point, and then the hand in relation to the face is a certain distance or size, I mean. So you kind of get used to it. If you want to use measurements, which I don't really recommend because you have to really only get used to it. But if you want to use measurements, I guess you could use like the transpose tool. So for example, let's switch from the gizmo to the transpose, and let's say that I want to measure the head of this character. So I would draw the transpose from here up to here, and there's like this small measurement units that aren't really directly related to real scale units. They're like ZBrush units, but then you could say like, okay, this is the head. Oh, so and yeah, so like this is the head size, and then you just measure another head and so on. So that's one way you could do it inside of ZBrush. I hope it helps. I'm way behind in the chat, so give me a sec. Yeah, the duplication of the head was something that I also did a lot in the beginning. Oh yeah, you just like the transpose thing I just said. Great. ¿Qué más, chamo? ¿Cómo le va? Dream Theater. Qué bueno que te das una vuelta por acá, hermano. Qué chido verte. Gracias por pasar a saludar un rato. Realism is not an option for 3D printing. Well, yeah, okay. Then I guess it's better to just block the hair pieces first with with low resolution Dynamesh. Once you have the main shapes and the primary shapes first, just subdivide and start detailing. Use lazy mouse. That's really helpful for getting the flow right, and combination of different brushes. You can use like the clay buildup and the dam standard, and maybe some like trim dynamic or polish or something like that. Yeah, it would be nice if the transpose could do that. It's just that ZBrush isn't really a 3D program. It's more like a 2.5D, so it doesn't have any real world space that I know. From what I understand, it's like a projection in 3D of an no, sorry, it's a projection in 2D of a 3D object. So it's kind of different from the way something like, for example, Maya or 3D Max works. So yeah, it would be cool to have like real units. Maybe not very far in the future. I don't know. Proportions cheat sheet. Nice. The ZBrush units are real scale millimeters? Are you sure? I haven't heard of that. Really? Well, that's... If they are, then this thing is really small. But I don't know. I didn't know that. That's cool. Oh, you can adjust them. I'll have to look into that because maybe I'm just talking nonsense and looking bad in front of everybody. Okay, so I'll just continue working on this guy, and I'm going to do something with the mouth. Oh my. The shortcut always breaks, the append one. But anyway. Let's do something with this. For this, I'm gonna use 64 instead of 32, just because it's very small. So blocking out proportions with simple forms like boxes or spheres, and check with transparency. I don't really do that. I think I just got very used to just sculpting things. Works much easier for me, I guess. I'm not really loving this. Yeah, something like this. And then here we could bend it. Yeah, I like this. I like this much better. Like a tongue and a sting at the same time. Kind of like the idea. So since Óscar already did some hard surface stuff, I feel like I also have to honor that choice with some of these pieces. So I'm going to, maybe this is too extreme. Just want to see if the forms are flowing nicely, which they are, but then this I'll have to open. I'm going to do some pieces in hard surface, so yeah. Okay. So I'll check on the units thing, because I didn't know that, and that's awesome if you can do that to adjust them to whatever you want. Also, what I usually do is just import a cube or something that has like a set length from Maya or any other software, and then use that as my scale. Use your feelings, look. Okay. So yeah, the hard surface stuff. I'll leave. What time is it? Ah, it's super early still. Okay. I will do. I first duplicate the arms. Whoa, no. What is this? Oh no, yeah. Duplicate, mirror. Merge down. Duplicate. Mirror. Merge down. And duplicate. Mirror. Okay, so I have the arms there now. And I might post the arms a little bit wider. Yeah, that's what I like about ZBrush as well. It's so free, and if you just need to adjust scale, you can do it afterwards. When you're just designing and creating stuff, I always just go by feel, you know. Okay, so maybe what if I reposition this like this? So there, yeah, I think I like this better. I don't know, because this one feels a little bit too tight, and like maybe the body doesn't read as well. And this one, I think it's a little bit better. So I'll use this one. Oh, so many subtools. 29. It's fine. Not even 3 million yet, so it's cool. Okay, so I will put some pieces in here. Some like I don't know, armor stuff. Dynamesh. Just go with it. For this kind of stuff, the damp standard with let's turn off lazy mouse. With the alt function helps a lot, and also the trim dynamic, I really like it. For this one, I'll probably use, let's use 128. And see what we get. Yeah, probably just go back to 64. ZBrush has a world scale in millimeters. Oh, nice. Awesome. Thanks for the tip, man. So C plugin, Subtool Master. Scale offset. Oh, nice. I'll check it out after the stream. What's happening to my move brush? It got all weird with the focal shift. Okay. Moved it by accident. So just trying to establish some lines. It's still super dirty and rough. Make this thing smaller. Yeah, something like that. Hey, take care, Adrian. It's 3 a.m. Thanks for coming to say hi, and hope you liked it, and hope the information was useful. Take care, man. Awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks for the video. Sleep tight. Okay, so I'll use the H polish for some stuff here. Just help me get the planes much faster. This is a very cool way to create hard surface looking stuff. Very easy. Wait, guys. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for watching. Okay. I'll be giving some more detail to these parts in a bit, but for now I want to create another hard surface piece. Still thinking where to put it. Maybe we can like I don't know. Yeah, I'm still not sure about this one. Looks weird. I work at On Animation Studios here in Montreal. We're doing the Playmobil movie, and I'm a look dev artist. So it's pretty cool, actually. Like look dev is something that I many years ago never thought I would like, but it's actually like very, very interesting, and it complements well if you know how to sculpt and if you know how to texture and shaders and render. You're pretty much there with the whole pipeline, except for rigging and animation, which is pretty neat. Being able to do all the parts of the character creature creation pipeline. I really, really like that. So what look dev is? Well, actually, not to be confused with with what's the name of VizDev, which is visual development, which is more like character design and set design and color design. It's design. Now, look dev is actually you can say it's basically texturing and shading. So you define the look of the characters, the way they're gonna be seen, and the way the materials are gonna look in the final render. So you have to take into account different attributes of the materials, like you have to work with diffuse or the colors, roughness, specular for the reflectivity of the materials. There's also like metals and cloth and hair and fur, so it's pretty interesting and pretty intense. A lot of stuff. I think it's the perfect balance between artistic and technical work. It's pretty demanding in terms of things you have to know. I think. I don't know. I don't want to make it look like it's super amazing, but it is pretty amazing. I really like it. But I also love to sculpt, so we can do both. I can do both. Okay. I'm thinking of where to put another piece that could be used for hard surface. Maybe this one's the torso could be used like as hard surface. Look Dev, no, Look Dev is not a generalist. No, so no, it's actually like very far from being a generalist because you have to be like a um, very focused and very specialized in one area. So generalists actually know about the whole pipeline a little bit, but are usually more well versed in one area. Like for example, if I'm a generalist, I can know how to model, texture, render, rig, and animate stuff. But I'm usually better at one of those things because it's normal. But look dev, it's only like texturing, shading, rendering, making the materials and the shader networks and the texture maps and the painting and also we do the UVs of our own characters. So I think that's pretty cool because you have much more control if you also do the UVs yourself. But also like ZBrush is also used for look dev because um, you can do so much stuff in ZBrush that helps in the creation of the maps. You can use especially if it's like a creature, because the displacement maps have to be baked from ZBrush, and then you use those. You can use them like for the render, and you can use them for painting as masks, and so you can create alphas in ZBrush. So it's a worthy tool to have as a look dev artist, for sure. Yeah, that'd be cool. Uh, the thing is, we can put some hairs in here. The thing is the legs are Óscar's, so I have to stick to the lower torso, arms, and lower head for now. Uh, Actually, I think I'll do some hard surface work here and here. But I'm thinking, what else can I do? Maybe I can start detailing this part. And for that, I'm going to hide all this stuff so I can see much better. All these parts. What are these? No, not this one. What's this one? Oh yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, maybe just hide everything else. It's good because it's just an order. Whoops. That we can leave there. Okay, I'll start subdividing this and work my way with this stuff. And when I'm sculpting organic, I love to do a combination of clay buildup and damp standard. Really like it. Feel it gives very good results. If you guys are interested in like learning more about what look dev is, or what you can do with it. You should check out this guy's work. His name is Paulinos or something. It's called in ArtStation, and I believe he works for VFX. So he has some pretty cool like tutorials and information about it. He's really good, and also I have to remember this guy's name. Let me just look it up real quick. Vincent Dromart. He also he only does look dev. He takes other people's models and textures them and shades them and renders them, and with permission, obviously. But he's really good, and he does like some cartoon stuff. And also, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the character artists at Blur, they do their own shading as well. They do the whole thing, the modeling, sculpting, texturing, shading. So hats off to those guys, because that's impressive. It's a lot of, and they do it to the highest level, so that's actually pretty difficult to achieve. Okay, so I'm working on the tongue right now. Tongue thing. I'm liking it, liking the way it's coming together with this other stuff. Because also, like, I want to do my own thing, but I also want it to look like it's the same creature, because it's not like an exquisite cadaver. It's sort of that, but not quite. So it still has to make sense in a way. Okay, let's see. Yeah, those guys' names are, let me write them down. Actually, this guy's Vincent, and the other guy's name is Paul, Paul, I think, and Paulino, Paul Paulino. That's this guy's name. Who is Ralphie Jr.? ¿Qué onda? There's a lot of people I still don't recognize the names of, so sorry about that. Just be patient with me. Ah, ¿qué onda, men? ¿Cómo andas? Qué chido que si andas por acá. Saludines. Qué chido que te pudiste dar la vuelta un rato. Xiluminado Diox. We misses you. What's up, guys? Are you doing your homework? You should be doing your homework. Okay, so we are gonna do like veins here, coming coming to the tongue from underneath. Gracias, David. Thanks, David, for those guys. What he wrote. Those guys are amazing, and they do look dev, so you should check them out. And it's actually very different from just being a generalist. A Brazilian monster? Yeah. Those Brazilians are crazy, man. We should steal their superpowers. Yeah, I understand how you feel, but it shouldn't depress you, man. It should inspire you. And I always like to think that that's the standard, you know, like that's the standard, and those guys are in a way like my competition, because I like to think of it that way in terms of that's the level, that's the standard right now, so it's totally achievable. You just have to practice a lot, and if you normalize that level of excellence, then it just becomes like second nature, I guess. What happened here? I moved something and it's not working. Let's just reset the brush. Okay. Subdivide it one more time. Just adding a bunch of details here. Okay, so I could still do a lot of work here. But let's jump for now to let's jump for now to the torso and maybe work on that stuff like a little bit. This part, I want to do something with this. So what I will do is actually it's a really cool technique that let's see. Let's turn this
the arms off for now and fix some of this stuff a little bit. Yeah, something like that. No, not really. I think it was better before. Okay, so in here, what I would do is I'll do subdivide a couple times, and then I will use the standard brush, but instead of sculpting, I will use color, and I will paint with black. Oh, I have to do like the fill object first, and then with color black. What I would do is paint. Actually, I can change here, so I'll paint as thin as possible. Oh. Never the red wax, man. You know it. Okay, so what I will try to do is a technique for creating like panels in like hard surface panels. I will keep it simple enough to work with. What's up with the music, man? Let's change it up a bit. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that link is, so stay away. Okay, so wait. So I'll just do this stuff here. Okay, this is good. So what I will do next is go to masking and then use mask by color. And I'll do by intensity, which in this case will create a mask. I'll just turn off the poly paint. Oh, by the way, I should save because this this better not crash. So okay. I created a mask, color mask by intensity, which is here. And then if I turn off the poly paint and go back to white, this is the mask. And then I can create a poly group with Control W. Yeah, it's okay. And then I'll subdivide it a bit more. Then what I will do is just duplicate this piece so I don't lose the original, and hide that, and then use go to delete lower and then delete hidden. So I have this, which is the very rough outline of my panels. And then I will just go to, like, I will do polygroups again, but then polygroups, autogroups, which in this case will create a different polygroup for every piece of floating geometry, which is pretty cool. And then I will go to deformation and do a polish by groups, which should polish the borders of every group a little bit. And then just go to geometry, see remeasure, and do keep groups, and let's try it like that. Let's see what the resolution is. No, let's lower it a little bit to 2 and see remesh. What am I drinking? Sometimes you just have to, man. It's a monster drink because it was a rough day and I haven't, like, I'm coming out of a minor cold, so I was a bit tired. But just to keep me going, because sometimes you just have to, and it's pretty cool. I really like sculpting and doing the stream and talking with you guys, but I just was feeling like a bit tired. That's all. Hey, Dr. Pixels. No, I don't sell the layout. It's just for free on my Gumroad. You just go grab it. I have the layout and my hotkeys and this matcap. So just look for my name in Gumroad. You should find me, José Rosales. And then, yeah, it's free. Can we get a look dev from ZBrush? Can you phrase the question a little bit more specific? I don't know what you mean with a look dev. Like look dev is the whole process of texturing and shading. So if you mean like for production, what is this? It's like a mistake here. Let's do a bit higher, 2.5. Thanks, man, for sharing the Gumroad. Like if you mean for production, in the end, look dev has to work on the render engine that you're gonna use for that specific production. It can be from anything as simple as keyshot to something as complicated as I don't know what Mental Ray was in its day, or V-Ray or Arnold. What's like the standard? So you can paint textures inside of ZBrush. You can totally do that. There's another mistake here. We'll just keep trying with different resolutions. Maybe try 5 because this is important to get right. So yeah, it depends on the render engine you're gonna use for production. You can do render in ZBrush and you can texture in ZBrush, but the renders, like you can't really make a film in ZBrush, so you most likely would be doing the look dev somewhere else. Especially if it's for production, it will be like one of the most common renders that are used for production. But you can try, like if you want to learn look dev, you can try with I guess I think Maya comes with Arnold now, so you can try with that. You can experiment with ZBrush and Keyshot. Like Keyshot also is like super basic, but it gives you like an intro to what look dev is, and you can try that. Hey, thanks man. glad you like the UI. I stole the idea, like the very basic. I don't remember from whom, but just I took like a template, and I've kept every time like I keep improving it, adding things and removing things depending of what I like and what I don't like, and what I keep using and what I don't really use. So it's a work in progress constantly. I have the enable customize button here so I can move things around. Okay, so for this thing, what I had was I remeshed uh, the pieces, and now I am going to do another. Let's see, polish crisps edge, but not too much. A little bit. No. Let's see. By features, yeah, it's a little bit better, but not quite. Now let's just leave it like that, and then do a. If we go to geometry, the red beard. No, it wasn't the red beard. I don't remember. I don't remember. I remember I took a bunch of matcaps from Point Pusher once, and I've kept some. I think this one was from. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, and yeah, stuff just keeps spreading and sharing. It's okay. Hey, buenas noches. ¿Qué onda? Go away, dude. Red wax. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is take this piece and go to edge loops and create some panel loops. I'll just reduce the loops to 2 instead of 5, and the thickness I'll leave it like that. I'll remove the polish. And then I should get something like this, which is the 2 subdivisions, and they create the panels. So maybe the thickness is a little bit low. I'll use 0. What was 0.01? Oh man. Let's use 0.5. Oh, it was too much. 0.05. Okay, so now this is more decent. And now I'm going to go back to polygroups. I'm trying to do this like slowly, so you guys can follow the thought process behind it. And if you have any questions, you can write me. It's okay. So now I want to create different polygroups for different areas of the pieces, and I will use the groups by normals, which will take into account like the corners and part them there. But I have to let's go back a bit and use 3 loops instead of 2. So things get a little bit more stable, and then panel loops double-sided, yeah, it's okay. And then use the groups by normals, and then oh no, the problem here is we have to define an angle at which maybe just instead of 3 just do 1 panel loop. Yeah, this is better. So when we use polygroups with group by normals, it by default it has like 45 degrees, at which point it will cut into a new polygroup. So in that we can separate stuff like this. Then we have different polygroups, and then the cool thing about this is that since we have these corners, we can do some polish by groups again in deformation. So when we do that a couple of times, the shapes smooth out by these corners. It looks pretty cool. And I'm just going to inflate a little bit the one that's underneath, just that it feels a little bit the gaps here, but not too much, because the idea is that we can have the pieces by themselves on top, like some sort of armor. It'd be cool if ZBrush would buy Google. Can you imagine? ZBrush will know our locations at all times. And then yeah, hard surface. I think our hard surface is pretty cool. It just it's depends on what kind of stuff you want to do. The good thing about ZBrush is that you can create a very basic base mesh with the shapes you want first, and then use a bunch of tools to work with. So I like how this came out. Then what I'm gonna use is some pretty cool alphas, hard surface alphas, that I have been using for some years now. If you guys don't know the work of, speaking of Look Dev, if you guys don't know the work of Jonas Ronegard, I think it's pronounced Ronegard. I don't know how do you pronounce that. It sounds Nordic, but I have no idea where he's from. He's a pretty cool he does some pretty cool work with surfacing stuff. If you guys check his ArtStation or his Gumroad, he has some very cool tools. So I'm going to import some of those alphas in here. Fucking prawns. Yeah, no problem, man. Nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you like it. Hope it was useful. And take care, man. See you next time. Where was I? Yeah, okay, so the hard surface things, I'm going to import those alphas. And it's pretty cool. He has like a lot of them. These are some of them. I just he has like 300 in each package or something. Pretty cool, very useful. And I just took a bunch of them and saved them in a folder for tonight's stream. So what I like about this is that you can use them with ZBrush, but you can also use them with Substance Painter, for example. And hey, baby's first puke. Take care, man. thanks for coming to say hi. Sleep well. So he actually uses a lot of ZBrush and Photoshop and Substance Painter for this kind of stuff. You can also use them with Mari and with any texturing program you want. It's pretty cool what you can do with this. So I will start to add some details to these shapes. And for example, if I'll change this to drag rectangle and I'll move the focal shift to 100. Otherwise, what will happen? I will show you what will happen. If you have the intensity high enough and the focal shift for the standard brush is at 0, what you do is, all right, we have to put back C add. What you do is, this is not good. Let's use this one. The shape is all curved up. And if you put the focal shift to 100, meaning you have 100% influence on the whole brush, like minus 100, I'm sorry, you get like a more straight piece. So I will do, I don't know, let's try this basic line first. Oh, and also what I will do first is actually use the damp standard. I just have to subdivide this a bit more, and I will use the damp standard to cut like plates. So for example, if I use them like this, just increase the intensity, and I can do that, and then just use the pinch. Or in this case, no, let's just leave it with the damp standard, but I still need more resolution for this to work properly. So okay, damp standard, and I'll just cut that. Do the same here. Actually, I'll use the lazy mouse pretty high, so I get straight lines, or almost straight lines. Or if I don't get straight lines, I can do like curves. But this is pretty cool actually. As well as in here, to separate the stuff. So hard surface can be pretty fun. I really like it. I'll do one here. And then this one all the way to the back. I think that's too much. Maybe have this as a curve here. Yeah, something like that. Okay. What good tip? You mean the focal shift thing? Okay, so I go back to the standard and I'll use this alpha. What it's really cool about it is just kind of like place it wherever. And you start getting pretty interesting details. Something like that. No, it's not working really good there. I can use with less intensity, maybe here. And then there's all sort of bolts and other kind of stuff. Maybe we can use this one all the way here in the back for like maybe to show that this is some plate that's, I don't know, stuck there. And here we can use maybe this one, which is pretty cool, to get like this part. But before we do that, or no, we can actually leave it like that. And what else can we do here? This one is pretty nice for if we increase the intensity. I'm sorry, I just Sometimes I get like brain fog. If we increase the intensity, we can use it in places like here to create this kind of details. It's pretty cool. Like maybe that like the shapes are blades are separated, or have like these indents here, and then can use some of these bolts things. Oh wait, this is reversed. So as you can see, you actually need like a very high res for some of these, but they give nice detail. And when you have a base mesh and you need to detail stuff, his alphas are actually like you can use them in production. You have like a one-person license to use them, so it's pretty amazing that he actually shared all of this stuff. That's why I kind of wanted to give him a shout out here, because his stuff is amazing and I've been using it for years. Yeah, just trying some stuff. What alphas? Jonas Ronegard alphas. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he does a lot of surfacing work and different kind of alphas. He has like 2 packs of hard surface alphas, like sci-fi stuff. Let's see what else can we do here with this piece. Maybe have one here in the middle. Whoa. I don't know. I don't know. Looks okay, but maybe this one. Guess this one's better. Yeah, this one's better. Whoa, actually they overlap, so yep, just like that. So you can do pretty interesting stuff with this. Now that I look them at this thing from afar, I would probably do these lines again, like plan them a little bit more tight, not that like they're a little bit thick, but it's okay. So we go back to this thing and let's do the arms. Yes, those alphas, I guess. Thanks, man. Let's turn off lazy mouse. And yeah. How's my battery doing here? It's okay. Oh, forgot. Go back to the
good old brush. Just try and detail a little bit here, all the parts. The standard brush is actually pretty cool for like skin wrinkles. I've discovered in combination with the damp standard, you can get pretty cool results there. And the inflate, that's also one pretty incredible brush that a lot of people overlook. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. So yeah, look dev team representing. It's okay, dude. So what I'm trying to do here is like have like the outline of an insect, but actually I'm thinking on chicken wings because I had some on Friday at a bar, and I'm thinking of like the way chicken wings look, and so having it not be like an insect type thing, but a more, I don't know. And I just realized that I didn't have symmetry on, so I'll fix that later. It's okay. I'll just keep working here. But yeah, I'm trying to go for that look of like meat and bones and skin on top. Can do some more wrinkles here. Without losing them. So just check something real quick. Okay. I'm actually quite happy with what I have so far, because I had no idea of what to do with this creature at first. Like I said, this will be an ongoing series between Oscar and myself. So, like we all would be doing, we both will be doing our own individual streams. But when it's a Pass the Sculpt, we'll be working on this project first, and then when we finish this, maybe we'll do something else. Shake it up, change the formula a little bit. Actually use the lazy radius a little bit. Skin folds everywhere. Skin folds and chicken wings. That's the winner chicken dinner, I guess. That was a horrible joke. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying me and are enjoying watching me sculpt this thing. I hope I'm not boring you or anything. I think it's looking pretty nice. If anyone has any question or comment or anything, feel free. I'll change this part a little bit. We'll do like an insect type of stuff. Yeah, that looks nice. So because I'm lazy, I'll just duplicate this one and put it in there to try and match the other one. Something like that. Keep forgetting to turn on the symmetry for some reason. Just lower the resolution first so I can put it in the right spot. Now I have two, which look pretty cool. So yeah, just I'll save so as to not lose my work, and wait, save as. Okay. Just reset this brush, something happened again. Now this one These two can probably be like hard surface, now that I think of it. Or we can merge them later. So I'll just, still not working. Let's just reset all brushes for now and turn off dynamic. It's very possible that I will just merge these parts later, because if it ends up being like a huge continuous arm, it just makes sense to do that. So I think I'll do that. Just so I'll just delete lower and delete hidden to start deleting the other halves. In this case, it's just delete hidden and also delete hidden. Oh. Okay, so I'll do duplicate of all of this. First. And then let's see. I'll just do merge visible here. Then add them to the current sculpt. So I'll just go ahead and delete these ones. Okay. Delete. Okay. How many things I have here? Let's see. Oh, and this one. No, delete, not duplicate. Okay. Okay, so right now I have the duplicated one. It's here, and I just add it to the whole thing. It's this one. So here, what I'll do is just use a very high, well, not that high, but I don't know, maybe like 512 Dynamesh resolution. And I'll just merge it. So with this, what happened is that it became the same mesh. So this is pretty cool. And I can do a very quick duplicate and see remesh. Yeah, something like that. Let's wait for it to finish. Okay, so I now have this as a base mesh in which to project the other part, which is cool. But I'll probably do like if I'm going to use actually this part to like merge this to be a continuous shape and flesh and bone and stuff like that, it's usually good to I'll use a lower res first to just smooth things a little bit before doing the retopo. And since I have the whole thing here, it's okay, I can project it later. So just go to geometry and zero mesh again. And then after this thing is done, we can again project this thing. So just leave it like that and project all, subdivide and project, subdivide and project again. And I think yeah, I think I can work with this. Yeah, I can work with this. So I'll just turn this off for now. And I also have the individual parts turned on, so I'll turn them off. Okay. So now I'll work directly in this, which is pretty cool. Because now I can like merge everything and it works as a whole mesh. So this is what I was talking about first, that somebody asked, I don't remember who it was, that when to stop using Dynamesh. And this is a good example, like when I'm sure that the base shapes are done and are not gonna change, that's when I'll stop using Dynamesh and just remesh things so I can concentrate on sculpting. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention the hard surface technique that I showed here in the torso. That's something I learned from the Chaos Masons guys at their workshop during the 2015 summit. So shout out to those guys as well. They've helped me a lot with their knowledge. Their work's pretty cool as well. I will do this thing like it was gonna be like a, I don't know, like a blade or something, but I think I'll do like a bone like a finger thing, like face masking. The cool thing now that I've just done a remesh is that I don't have to worry about losing stuff when I do a remesh. Just I can go up and down with the subdivisions. So that's pretty cool as well. Do some wrinkles here in this part. Yeah, I think I'll separate that. And like I said earlier as well, like if I get stuck in some area, I'll just work on something else for a while. It helps with keeping things fresh and not saturating myself when I'm stuck. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like sometimes the minds just stop thinking and the shapes just flow. This can be like a little bit dangerous depending on what you're supposed to be doing. Like for exploring design and stuff like that, it's pretty cool. But if you have to do something specific, it's not the best idea to lose yourself in the forms. Oh, I did a print screen there. So now I'll duplicate, mirror. All right, forgot. I'll just delete this one, and I will do delete lower subdivisions, and I'll reconstruct them later. So just duplicate, sorry, mirror, and then merge down, and then do a reconstruction. So geometry, reconstruct subdivision, and we get the base mesh again, but just on both sides, which is cool. Do like a bent finger in here. Oh, maybe the other way. Yeah, I think this looks better. It's pretty cool to work at night, like when everything's super, like when the whole city is like quiet and there's no like, I don't know, external noise, and also like the internet is usually also more quiet. But I'm talking local time, because for you guys it's probably earlier. But right now for me it's pretty cool. Yeah, so the insect chicken wing things. Duplicate this one as well. So I can have both of them. And I'll just save. For 24 a.m. That's pretty cool. Usually between like after 2 a.m. something weird happens, because it's much more easier to get into the flow of things. I don't know, for me at least. I work great in like very early mornings, or like during the night. The problem is that the world doesn't function at those times. It's pretty difficult if you like having friends and a relationship and work. It's actually quite hard to manage. The ZBrush models perform well. I think you mean well in games. Um, well, it depends. Like ZBrush models can mean a lot of things. For example, a ZBrush model can be actually any model. You can have a model with 20,000 polygons and a model with 20 million polygons. So if you mean like high resolution models, like for example these ones that I'm working with right now, like Dynamesh ones, which is like a little bit under a million to several million, like this ones. No, they don't actually work well in video games. You have to create a low poly mesh and do map baking from high poly to low poly, and but I mean the sculpture work, the actual high poly work you do, yes, that does work. It's just that you have to bake the maps so you can be used in a low poly model with a render engine for video games. That's the only way. And but yeah, but the ZBrush is standard for games and movies and all sort of stuff like that. 4:24 p.m. Nice. So it's time for second lunch at Hobbitland. How are you doing, Kato? So there, this it's cool that there's people from all over. It's cool, but I don't know if it's like comfortable for everybody to be awake so early or so late. But I really appreciate that you guys came today to say hi. So yeah, at this point, I'm a little bit stuck with ideas. At this point, I would normally start doing the legs, but since that's Óscar's work, let's see what else can we do here. I'll work on the mouth a little bit more. Still missing detail here and there. So what do you guys do for work, or are you still studying, or are you working in games or films or animation, or what you guys do with ZBrush? I want to know. ¿Qué onda, Pita Gómez Jaime? Ah, Pita. ¿Qué onda, man? Sometimes I just don't recognize the names. Work is good. Work's great. It's still very early in the production, so there's still like a lot of time. Things are going like normal pace. There's no crunches or anything right now, which is cool. But I'm sure, like as we approach the release and the final deadline, things will get much more interesting. Community college for 3D. What are you learning? Like animation and stuff? Are they teaching you ZBrush? Oh hey, what's up, Ash? Nice that you came to say hi. How was work? Learning ZBrush for 3D printing and then metal casting generalist. Okay, that's cool. Like the school doesn't make the artist. That's something I always say, even to my students while I was teaching, because people can get very comfortable with like just say that they're from certain school and hope that only that gets them to where they want to go without putting the work. So doesn't matter where you study, just be prepared to be a self-taught artist eventually. Like just learn to learn by yourself, and you'll be fine. Motion design, nice. So pretty diverse. Yeah, ZBrush is also like it's like a very cool form of meditation for me as well. Like just going to sketch something, it's very refreshing. Um, yeah, it's cool that you're learning, Robin. I'm sorry to hear about your school. That sounds like it sucks. Um, well, I'm glad to be here to teach what I know. It's pretty cool to be. This also has helped me meet new people and get to know what they're doing. Like what I've seen at school or at work and different studios I've worked at or by myself is that people need to learn like how to solve problems, because um, if you have the mindset of deconstructing the problem and finding a solution, doesn't matter what field you're actually working in, you'll be of some value to someone somewhere. So we should all focus on that. I think. Um, so you just found out about what ZBrush is. In that case, welcome. That's pretty cool. I'd say some of the most popular jobs with ZBrush would be um, sculpting high poly models, either for films or video games. I think that would be like the most popular ones. Most people I know who use ZBrush work in either of those fields, be it for VFX or animation or video games. Also, like for AAA next gen games or very simple mobile games, doesn't matter. There's always a need for high poly modeling or well high poly sculpting. But there's also like collectibles, which is growing pretty fast right now, and a lot of people I know, a lot of friends, and myself, I actually also want to try it. Are starting to do some like collectibles and 3D printing for like for sale, and there's also guys like Thomas, for example, who does jewelry design, and uh, there's even toy design. So there's a lot of stuff. You can also use ZBrush for medical applications. Like Alina was mentioning this guy yesterday in her stream, Alexei Kaspersky. He does like some really cool medical illustrations. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do with the program. It's pretty versatile. That's what I like about it. So the new booleans. Oh, those are great, man. I haven't used them as much as I'd like, but I've tried them and they are pretty useful. You get to do things real quick. I want to create my own set of Boolean pieces to use myself and maybe to share. But with the relocation thing, I just hadn't had the time. But things are settling very soon, so I have planned a lot of stuff for this year. So hopefully I can do all of those plans. It will be pretty neat. My favorite piece to work on to date, I don't know. Oh man, that's a hard question. I guess I I don't know. I guess I'll go with the disappointing answer that it's the current one is always the favorite, because there's a well, I don't know how it is for most people, but for me there's a point where I eventually like get tired of it and I hate it and I just want to do something else, and then I no longer think about that piece that much. But there's some pieces that I remember more fondly than other ones. I don't know if you guys played this game called DC Universe Online. I was working at a studio in Mexico called CGBot that's doing outsourcing for other studios, and they were one of our clients. And I did a bunch of characters for the game, but I did one of the bosses, which was Cerberus, the three-headed dog. That asset was pretty cool. I really like that. I had a lot of feedback from the clients because it was a very important asset, and it was back and forth and back and forth. But that's one of the ones I remember most fondly. And from personal stuff, I like the Doomsday Sculpt that's in my portfolio. I really like, because I tried something different for that one. I tried to do a lot of details with just damn standard, and it was painful. At the end, I felt like I shot myself in the foot with that one. I suffered a lot, but and eventually I like abandoned it and didn't finish it. And then like 4 or 5 months later, I decided to finish it and went back to it and actually did, which was I felt very proud, because I really liked the way it was coming along. It's just that I tried to do things which are very hard without proper planning, and then it got out of control. But I'm glad I actually finished it. With each piece you learn. So, and I think the most important thing you could learn is like what not to do for the next one. Let's rotate this. A little bit. Yeah, 3D printing is huge right now. Actually, there's like a 3D printing studio like 2 blocks away from my apartment, and like it's nothing super professional or anything, but for most people, for looking for prototypes, it's actually pretty cool. And One of my plans for this first 6 months of the year is to create my own first print. I have some ideas of what I want to do. I just need to define what scale and the costs and how many copies I would make. But it's one of my plans. Because I really like collectibles. I have some of my own. Like I bought some collectibles of different franchises and figures and stuff. But I really like the work of I don't know how to call it, like author pieces maybe. Some artists whose work I follow, or some other like friends of mine who have their stuff and sell them. Like I have a couple of pieces from the Chaos Masons guys. I bought one piece from Aris Colocontes. If you don't know that guy, he's amazing. He's a traditional sculptor who works also for like creature design and films and stuff like that. I bought one of his pieces, which it's amazing because he also hand paints them. Dominic Queck's stuff is incredible. I've always wanted one of his pieces, but I haven't had the chance. So yeah, stuff like that I really like, and I like the idea of collecting those pieces and helping the artists that want to get their work out. Because if I eventually want to, it's cool that when you get support from other people. Yeah, just in general 3D printing stuff, it's pretty cool. I think the applications are far more advanced than what we can imagine, especially for like industrial design and I don't know, I imagine like car production and medical stuff. I've seen that people are printing like arms and feet and I don't know the name of this word in English. Like I think it's like prosthetics. That's the word. So 3D printing, I think it's the future along with some other stuff. I work for a 3D printing manufacturer. No, it is not cheap. Yeah, the cleanup part is still an issue, and like I've seen what the Formlabs do, and it's pretty incredible. But you have like if you want to minimize the cleanup, you have to turn on the resolution a lot, turn up, and you still have to do some cleanup. So if you want professional work, you have to pay for it. That's the only way, and maybe it will get cheaper. I don't know. For people who are like hobbyists and or who are experimenting, there are some cheap alternatives. But if you want the good stuff, you have to pay for it. That's the way it is. Yeah, prosthetics. Thank you. Thanks, man. Glad you like them. I was I wasn't sure what to do at first, but yeah, I'm excited to see what you do with this guy next time. I know you won't let me down. So just polishing these last areas. Did the video freeze or
or it's just my own window. I guess it was just my own window. Oh man, I'm struggling right now. I just have so many ideas for the legs, but I'll have to use them for something else. Cool, thanks. Yeah, this is the Pass the Sculpt thing. There's the drawing there. So Oscar did the upper head and upper torso, and I did the lower head, arms, and lower torso. And I also improvised a little bit with the hips and this thing. He'll do the legs in the next one, which is pretty cool. I really like the idea. I'm gonna do these ones organic. So I don't have like the repetition of the other ones. Still with like the same idea, but not quite. Thanks, Ashley. I glad you like it. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Scartist 1, 2, 3. Like I admire you because you sometimes go like 4 or 5 hours in your streams. It's pretty crazy. Kudos to that. I'm still not sure what my next stream will be. I still don't know if it will be in English or in Spanish. But this guy, it's for the Pass the Sculpt thing, and I'll be working it with Oscar. So when it's a Pass the Sculpt, it will be probably this guy or maybe some other thing. I don't know. all Canadians are crazy in a nice way. Canadians are nice. I've met some pretty cool people here. Montreal is great. I really like the city. Okay. Oh no, please don't crash. Okay. Let's just do another save, just in case. Please tell me you get used to the cold and the one day being 6 degrees and the other day being -20.
because it's driving me nuts. And like this whole week, the streets were all frozen, so instead of walking, I was just like skating, which sounds fun, but it's it's not that much. I hear there were a lot of accidents this past week. I hear a lot of ambulances and sirens and stuff like that, like the firemen. I guess people are people wherever you go. Who, me or I'm in Montreal. I'm working at Unanimation Studios. I just arrived 4 weeks ago, something like that. Trail BC, what is that? I'm sorry. No, I don't know who you're talking to. I'm from Mexico, but I just arrived in Montreal. I think Ashley is from Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. Where am I? Hobo Town? So the number of hobos per capita is higher there, or what? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't get what you mean. Montreal. It's nice. I'm learning French slowly, but I'm getting there. I'll be wrapping up in a few minutes because I'm actually at Alina's place again because my internet, this has been a nightmare. So the apartment that I rented, like it's supposed to have Wi-Fi, and it's so bad that I can even open like a YouTube video or my email without it taking like 10 minutes. So I'll get my own internet, but they'll install it on Wednesday. So Alina's letting me stream from her place again, and I'll have to bounce pretty soon. So I hope you guys like it so far. I'm happy with the result. I just I don't know. I need a bit of like need to refresh my mind to get some new ideas on how to continue with this guy. And also let's see what Óscar does next time. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for hanging out. It was cool. Yeah, so many hobos. Yeah. I mean, poor guys with the cold here. It's just horrible stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm from Mexico City, and we've also got our fair share of those guys. Um, so yeah, if I hope you guys liked it. If there's any question about the stream, what I did, and or what I all the topics we covered and all the things we said. If you guys have any question or any comment, you just can please let me know. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Those are my networks. I always like chatting with people. If I don't respond, please be patient. These past few weeks have been crazy with the relocation, but I'm mostly settled down now, so I can be able to like chat more. But thank you so much. You guys are great. See you soon. See you in probably next week or the next or the one after that. But yeah, hope you guys liked it. Take care, everybody. Cheers. Bye bye.